Here's the throw. He's picked up, and there he goes, and he jacks it to the house.
The defense is back.
Mack strips it. He is unbelievable.
Khalil Mack deserves Defensive Player of the Year.
Big push up front. Down he goes. Safety. Eddie Goldman.
Our play on defense, all I could say was wow.
You do have to step back and say, hey, maybe this Bears team can go farther than any of us thought.
Well, the acquisition of Khalil Mack this offseason has transformed the Bears from a good defense to arguably the best in the league. Now coming off their impressive win against the Rams, the comparisons to the legendary 1985 team are starting to pour in. Rex Ryan, whose father Buddy helped orchestrate the '85 Bears to their first Super Bowl, alongside head coach Mike Ditka, headed to the Windy City to give the Bears squad a close look at that dominant defense from 33 years ago.
Man, I miss Chicago. I can't help but think about the Chicago Bears and what that meant to my family and the years my dad really built that Monsters of the Midway. And now we're coming in to see the new Monsters of the Midway. This great defense making their own name for themselves. Look at this group right here now. Fellas, I gotta look at you guys all swole. You can't fit everybody in here. Well, hey, fellas, first off, the way this league is now, everybody's talking about it. It's offense, offense, offense. I was like, oh, this stinks, man. When are we gonna play football? Well, this group right here plays football now. Because to me, what do we always learn? Defense wins what? Championships. Hell yes. And it doesn't take long when you're with the right group. Right? Like, Khalil, you coming over Defensive Player of the Year, all that stuff. And when you came here, what was that like?
Oh, man, it was real special. I knew Kyle was here, and I realized Danny Trevathan was here. Eddie Jackson, the baller, Keem Hicks. I'm like, oh, snap. We might have some pieces here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the preparation like for you, Danny, for a traditional week?
It's a lot of notes being taken. It's a lot being out there. And these guys does a good job of helping me. You know, they take it upon themselves to get lined up sometimes. I don't even have to say nothing. You know, that's just how he is now.
Stafford, good rush by Floyd. Into the end zone. It's intercepted by Fuller in the right corner of the end zone.
What was your comment to your defense when Kyle got the pick in the Detroit game?
Let's keep writing our story. Let's be legendary right here. Let's make our moment. I don't like to think it's too much of the speech. You know, the man put in hard work for it, man. So it was just a perfect timing, you know.
But I think the speech tells a story. To me, it talks about where you guys want to go. When you talk about legendary defenses, who do you say? Well, one of them's what, Eddie?
85 Bears.
85 Bears. You guys probably sick and tired, like, damn, 85 Bears. This is the first time that I've ever identified a current Chicago Bear defense with that defense. So if you don't mind, I'm going to show you a little of this. All right, hey, Danny, this is the role you're playing. You're that leader, that voice of that defense, right? That Mike Singletary. Hall of Famer versus Hall of Famer. Oh, where you going, Eric Dickerson? Go back to the sideline. That's where you're going.
Gotta pay for that nowadays.
Now, Akeem may have the size of, like, William Perry, you know, back in the day, but you remind me of Dan Hampton. And you see he's great on the run, and he can rush the passer. That's kind of the role I see, the big man in the middle that makes it all possible for the rest of the guys, right? Because when you collapse that middle, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it, Khalil?
So
Oh, yeah. Eddie, quite honestly, the numbers you're putting up, how the hell 5 defensive touchdowns in 27 games? That's never been done. So I'm going to show these picks because there's going to be a house call on here where Mike Richardson in the corner ends up picking one, taking him to the house, Kyle, and then Gary Finson. So as a safety, he comes in here, and what's this? This is Art Monk, a Hall of Famer. Boom. Oh, there you go. But that's him. So he was a hitter, and he was a ball hawk. Kyle and Eddie, you guys do that about as good as anybody.
It is Khalil Mack with the sack and the strip, and welcome to Chicago, big boy.
I'm sitting back going, well, who are we going to compare Khalil to? Right, what, Superman? I don't know what you're going to say, right? Wilbur Marshall was an amazing player. 25 interceptions, like 50 sacks. Then I'm like, well, Richard Dent, he was the MVP of that Super Bowl. And then Otis Wilson was just a ferocious pass rusher. So to hell with it, I'm comparing you to all three of those guys. You're a combination. Khalil, this is it right here. Watch this hit. Oh, he knocked out before he hits the ground. Well, that was a lick. That cost him some money, didn't it? They cost him a few dollars. He's going to be okay, though. Backup's getting ready. How much do you think that backup wants to play right now? He's sitting back going,
Get up. Come on, man.
Oh, no. It's the celebrations, too. You guys do an unbelievable job of celebrating. Who comes up with them, by the way? Who's the ringleader?
Me, Prince, and Cal.
Yeah. I love them, man. I love, like, the swag and the fun that you guys are having, because this game is fun. And it's most fun when you're kicking butt, isn't it? Hey, guys, I appreciate it. And represent that defense, man. Keep going, okay?
Yeah,
all right, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This Bears defense, powered by Mac, has been just fantastic in 2018. They've held opposing offenses to the fewest points per drive and been very good taking the ball away, sitting at the top of the NFL in takeaways and defensive touchdowns. Chicago has held opposing quarterbacks to the lowest QBR in the league. Can Jared Goff and the Rams start a new hot